Hello everyone, I hope you're well, smelling great and enjoying your favourite fragrances today. And this is what we're going to be opening. It is Aria from the house of Elyon. So hello everyone, and today we've got the latest fragrance from Elyon, Dubai, and it's called Aria. As some may know, it's associated with curly fragrance. This is one that I'm actually really quite excited about, to be fair. I noticed on the side of the box it's saying dangerous goods. We like a bit dangerous goods, when it comes to fragrances. I'm hoping that means in terms of like a dangerous fragrance of some sort. And there's affinity sample in there as well. So this is Aria. What do I know about this fragrance? Not a great deal, though it's a new release. I'm not sure when this is released. I ordered it the other day, and remarkably quick. It stands me with the shipping from Elyon. I believe I ordered this 2 days ago, and it's here now in the UK from Dubai. 48 hours, and it's sent halfway around the world. Phenomenal. I believe this is released soon. Fortunately, secured a bottle quite early on. I was completely bowled over with Himeros. For me, that was just such an awesome fragrance. It was such a wonderful leather oud fragrance, and the type of leather note in that, it really appealed to me. I think I might have referred to it as like a horsehide leather, though upon reflection and wears, it's like that brand new leather shoebox smell, which I don't know, that's something that really captivated me as a child when I've gone buy new shoes for school, and just the smell of leather in the shoe shop. And so I don't know, maybe that was part of the allure of Himeros, that return to childhood with fragrance scent of leather. Let's get into this. I don't know much about this, and from what I've read from the emails relating to this, it actually sounds quite a biblical fragrance. Like, how can I put it? Like, it sounds like a really mystical, magical fragrance from the right up. I'm quite impressed by it. I'll give you a little idea of what I mean. It's saying here, from Petra's Rose Cliffs to secret Vatican gardens, Aria is a revelation. This is a brief breakdown and of some of the notes in this. So we've got Szechuan peppercorns, fire toasted on Himalayan pine, 50-year aged ambergris hidden beneath Petra, iris and Amani musk whispered in Vatican sound, Persian saffron bathed in glacier meltwater, and Tahitian vanilla kissed by moonlight hinoki. So soon the symphony will be unveiled to a chosen few. Only the first to sign up will experience Aria before the world does. So, wow, what a write-up. I mean, that just adds a mysticism to this, which, brilliant, great. You've got me with that. Those ingredients sound really finely sourced. So let's say that transfers into the fragrance. So this is the bottle. I do like the bottles, I've mentioned that before. And the other two, I believe, is silver and gold, and this one's like a white, gold and white, as you can see. Lovely bottles they are. So that's the bottle. Not smelling anything there. A little faint whiff. So let's have a little look. There's a little write up here. The write-up is saying, Aria unveils a grand tapestry of 21 sacred notes, each sourced from forgotten geographies, aged in silence and crafted to astonish even the most jaded collector. No shortcuts, no dilution, just rarity, ritual and reverence. There you go. I mean, what more do you want? Rarity, ritual, and reverence, and the 3 R's. Right. So let's get this on anyway. All right. Whoa. Okay. That's nice. Right, so that is different to what I was expecting. I've got to be honest. That's like a rich floral, milky. I don't know if there is any oud in this. There's something in the background. It's a sweet floral. Okay, so out of those notes, I really don't know what I'd be detecting out of those. I don't know what ambergris smells like. I'm aware it's used in quite a lot of perfumes, and it's well sought after, and it comes with an expensive price tag. Though, as for smelling it on its own, I'm not sure what that individual note smells like. Yeah, this is something else. This is a different, completely different direction from Himeros. Himeros was really masculine. This isn't. This is easily unisex. Easily, anyone could wear this fragrance. Wow, it's quite uplifting. I'm getting an uplifting vibe. This is first impressions. What I suspect with this is there's going to be an exploration. They're the opening notes, and they're what's initially hit. This feels like it's going to be one of those fragrances that one goes on a journey with. And I imagine with some further maceration, once the oxygen's got in here, this come to this in 3-4 months, and it's going to be a real solid, even though it's been aged for nearly 3 years, this is going to be a real solid fragrance. Wow. I'm trying to think if this smells like anything on. Oh, wow, look at the colour of that juice. That's like a rich ambery gold. Like, it's almost like a matured Naxos. When Naxos bottle, when you first get them from Xerjoff, they're quite clear, though over time when they macerate, they go to this like ambery yellow colour, and that's what that looks like, really rich. Yeah, so I mean, this is stunning straight out the gate. I'm really struggling to place this next to anything I know. Now, there may well be fragrances out there. I can feel this becoming more radiant. That was 3 sprays, I believe, and I can feel it like it's almost activating in the air. Well, let's have a look into this anyway, because I don't know what I'm picking up here. And I can smell florals. I don't know what they are. And I can smell some other stuff and I don't know what it is. So let's have a look. It's saying here it's spice floral core, bay, rose, clove, nutmeg, cinnamon, ginger, a 5-spice constellation, pink pepper from Volcanic Reunion, Zanzibar clove aged in sealed rosewood, Sri Lankan cinnamon bark, sun-cured in palm leaf, ginger root flash-dried in volcanic ash, and whole nutmeg from Java. Each spice matured separately, then folded into silk. The result is fire with control. A golden spiced architecture that crackles softly, like embers wrapped in velvet. The write-up for this is phenomenal. That's just the top note. It's poetry. It's like... It's really like a Shakespeare novel of notes. Cran white florals, jasmine sambac, neroli carnation. Yeah, so that's probably what the floral opening was. Those. There's an ambery like. There's like a really creamy base to this, and it's just sort of like underneath and it's pushing forward. Yeah, there's a lot going off in this, a lot. It's nowhere near even settling down. Okay, so the jasmine's plucked 3 a.m. It's got to be 3 a.m. in Tamil Nadu before its soul is lost to the heat. Okay, so there's reason behind that. I didn't think it'd be an idle thing. Certain plants and that the harvest is critical, so plant some flowers. Neroli steam distilled from the first orange blossoms of Nabule. Carnation petals infused in bergamot oil for 5 days before distillation, giving the note its elegant, peppered backbone. These aren't florals, they're shadows of memory pressed into gold. Resinous mysticism. I mean, I'm giving this 10 out of 10 for effort already. This is a labour of love. I can feel what's gone into this. What's striking me is how so accessible this is for literally anyone. It's a completely inoffensive fragrance that anyone could wear. I'd even say it's kid friendly. You could put this on kids. Don't put this on kids. But you know, it's like I don't think there's anyone who wouldn't be able to pull this off, is what I'm trying to say. Resinous mysticism. Elemy myrrh labdanum. Elemy resins tapped under moonlight in northern Luzon and sealed in cedar. Ethiopian myrrh aged for 9 years in carved olive wood. Labdanum dried on linen in the wind-scorched cliffs of Crete, then folded into Aria like sacred smoke. This is the scent of ancient pages of prayers without words. The velvet woods in here are sandalwood, cedar, patchouli, papyrus. Vintage Mysore sandalwood from pre-ban Indian stock. Okay, I didn't know it. I wonder why that is. Might be environmental reasons. Himalayan pink cedar cut during the winter solstice. Indonesian patchouli leaves air dried into woven jute sacks for 5 summers. A Nile grown papyrus soaked in black tea and smoke dried in copper drums. This is Aria's spine. Dream creamy, worn like antique leather bound in silk. Wow. There's a lot of labour gone into this. And a lot of timing. I mean, they're all exact ingredients they are that need to be collected, you know, specific times and developed over age. The sacred sweetness, so there is a sweetness to this, and yeah, this is probably what it is actually. Well, it is what it is. Vanilla and tonka bean. And that might be that rich creaminess with a few other things. Tahitian vanilla beans, hand split and macerated into Japanese enoki oil for 120 days. Venezuelan tonka beans, sun roasted over volcanic stone. This is not confection, it's warmth, whispered in gold, the edge of memory, the skin of a poem. So that's what it. I think. That's what's coming through. The florals have sort of taken a back seat now, and the vanilla, the sweetness of this is coming through, and you can feel some woodiness in the back. This is the last notes. Mineral musk and shadow. Managed to even bottle shadow in here. I wonder what shadow note smells like on its own. Right, okay. White musk, cashmere and vetiver oak moss. A veil of clean white musk harmonised with French amber and fine milled cashmere, polished like ivory. Haitian vetiver aged 11 years in ironwood barrels. Oak moss gathered only after rainfall, pressed from fallen bark. The trail Aria leaves is not loud, it lingers on skin, on silk, on soul. And this is what this feels like to me. It's whereas Himeros, walk in a room with that, and within moments people are going to know you've been announced. This feels much more subtle, however, no less announceable. And by that I mean this is something that once a person's been in a room for a while, they'll be like looking around for where's that coming from, and then they'll follow it to, you know, I imagine come up to you and go, what's that you're wearing? I really don't doubt that. I imagine this is pretty good for compliments. It's so user friendly. I don't know what concentration it is. I don't know what you'd consider it. I think it's saying it's 40% oils. That's probably above extrait, is it? I don't know what category that would come in. One thing I can say for Elyon is that from my experience through what I've purchased and my interactions is there's such a personal note there. Okay, so how do I put this without sounding like I'm besmirching or being disparaging in any sense? When I've written to other fragrance houses, I've not really felt a personal interaction or touch from them. It's almost like a cold secondary communication. However, whenever with Elyon, I think it's always been above and beyond. It's a really individualized communication. Yeah, the emails I've received from Michelle have been really well thought out and detailed. I think my interaction so far with this house is, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going off what I sort of. This leads me to believe that there's so much care and attention put into these. It's not just making fragrance for fragrance sake. We're all aware of release after release, particularly from designer houses. They just like regurgitate the same type of similar fragrance or whatever's popular. These aren't going for that. These are going for me, this is straight in at high-end niche quality type fragrances, and they take a different direction. The level of quality and sophistication involved in these, I can only think that there's some real clever minds and some real passionate people have put their input into this. It doesn't come across as, yes, businesses, they're businesses, that's what they're there to. They're there to do business, though it's not business just to make money's sake. This is to pass on the passion from the creator to be it a newcomer to fragrance or that hardened, avid, obsessive collector. So, and this one, I mean, this is completely, for me, completely blind buy safe worthy. However, I'm not going to pretend it does come with a cost though. Anything of quality and of good ingredients, what can you say? Yeah, it's why not? This also feels like a fragrance that will last in most weathers. It feels like it, and I think it probably have two different reactions in hot and cold. And it's a bit like Naxos in that sense. I always say this about Naxos. It operates differently in different climates. So when it's cold, for me, on my skin, it activates in a different way than when it's hot. When it's hot, it's like splitting the atoms. It just really creates into this like nuclear reaction beast. And in cold weather, it's a lot tighter and closed and uniform, and I feel this might be something similar. I feel it'd be a lot tighter and closer to the skin in cold. I'm looking forward to trying it. We're sort of midsummer here, so it's I'll get the summer reaction now, and then in a few months' time, when the weather's cooled and this has had a chance to macerate, I think this will take another life of its own then. The other thing I'd say for Elyon is they're just second to none in delivery. I've had worse delivery issues in the UK of something that's like 100 mile away and it's taken like 2 weeks, whereas 20 for 2 days and it's from Dubai to here. I mean, that is phenomenal. That in itself, great. My understanding from Elyon at the moment, you've got the Leatherwood one, you've got this floral, like woody ambery type sweet fragrance, and there's also the rose oud of the Infinity. They've got 3 fragrances, and I'm trying to think where they would go next with this. And the thing is I think it's almost like they've outdone them. It feels like they've outdone themselves in the sense that you've got this solid quality Leatherwood, you've got this solid quality rose oud, and then you've got this solid quality floral type ambery sweet fragrance. Where do you go next with that? Because they've all got the key quality ingredients. Where would this house go next? With a freshie? Could one see them doing a fougere, and maybe like a more solid oriental fragrance? It'd be interesting to see. I'm quite excited to see when Infinity and Himeros were on the site and available, sort of started to become available. This was there as a coming soon. So now that there's 3 fragrances, it doesn't actually say if there's anything coming soon. And just as from a selfish point of view, I'd like to see something coming soon from this house. I really would, because it's been difficult to find other houses. I mean, don't get me wrong, you do get niche houses like on Ward who constantly put out what I believe is good fragrance after good fragrance. It's very rare I'm let down by an Onward, and same with Xerjoff. This so far, I feel there hasn't been any misses so far for me. I think each and every one's been successful. I want to put more on, however I don't want to put more on, because I think that is enough. I don't need to put any more on. I think 3 sprays is going to be way more than enough. Be interesting how long this lasts for, actually. I know with the Himeros that was like forever. It was like, I mean, if I had to cut 2-3 sprays of that, and it was easily 16 to 20 odd hours. Yeah, it was like, which I loved. I loved it. So what can I say? What more can I say for this? It's a complete winner. Absolutely. I'm trying to think. It's difficult to determine what type of fragrance this is looking at the notes, and to anticipate that it's going to smell like what it does smell like. It probably, if I'm honest, when I'd have looked at that nose in the collection of notes, it's not something I'd have naturally been drawn to. I generally go for deeper, darker, richer type scents. However, smelling this out of collected all those notes together and ingredients, that it would have probably, if I'd have smelt this in the shop for the first time, I'd have bought it anyway, regardless of the fact this is a blind buy and it's a successful blind buy. I'd have smelt this and thought, I have to have that, even though what I've just said about the type of notes and collection of notes is not the type of fragrance I'd ordinarily go for. Upon smelling it, I'd have bought it straight away. So that's me. First impressions of Elyon. Obviously, that's the opening. I'll have to experience the dry down with this and the full experience of the wear. Please let me know if anyone's had any experience with Elyon and other fragrance of theirs, or if you're interested in this. Can't stop smelling that. So I carry these things around. These are like inhalers from Thailand, and smell them, and they like really open up your sinuses and senses. And this is the sort of thing you could tip into that and just walk around smelling. That's what this is like. That's what it smells like. So it's such a pleasurable fragrance. So that's it for me for Elyon Dubai. There's nothing much on Fragrantica. Well, there isn't anything on Fragrantica on this at all. They've got Himeros on there. So looking at them for the other 2, they're starting to get the reviews come in. So good on that. It looks like the Infinity gets the better reviews. However, it's negligible. It's both around the 4 out of 5 mark. Myself, I'd flip it the other way. I go Himeros, then Infinity. And the only reason why, because this is a rose oud, and I've got loads of rose ouds, so it's probably the most fragrance I own. Of any type of fragrance I own, the most of is the rose oud combination, whereas leather oud, I've got none. I've got no leather oud, so I think that's more unique for me. That's the only reason. If I didn't have any rose oud fragrances and I'd first come across that, I'd absolutely adore it. To me, it's similar to Risala, except without the chocolate note in Risala, which again is a killer, real sexy fragrance, and so's that. shows that it's, yeah. Anyway, so I'll leave it at that, and I hope you got something. It might be quite a long one. But I think, yeah, it's worth it. You know, it's worth talking about. If something deserves to be mentioned, then yeah, give it the time to talk about it. So, yep, Aria from Elyon. Successful blind buy, yeah, and yeah, if you're able to get your nose in this, do it. So let me know what you think, and yeah, I wish you all the best for now, and please continue creating value in your lives and environment. Bye for now.